DLS wave back.
Again.
So a video of the French President Emmanuel Macron being seemingly slapped by his wife Brigitte upon arrival in Vietnam has gone viral. Now I think we've all known a Brigitte once upon a time in our lives, and Brigitte's ladies are pretty aggressive. So let's see what happened. Now, what led to this unexpected moment?
What's the reason for your truancy?
Nobody knows, so we're gonna delve right into it on DLS Wave. All right, so the incident, what happened? On May 25th, 2025, the French President Macron and First Lady Brigitte disembarked their plane in Hanoi, Vietnam. Beautiful country if you've been. Cameras captured Brigitte appearing to push or slap Macron's face. The president momentarily recoiled before composing himself and waving to onlookers. Now, he pretended everything was cool, but you can see in the video when it was actually kind of like, going down the stair, it was trying to give his arm to Brigitte, but Brigitte was like, we're not going to fake it this time, right? So then the question then becomes, is this something that's been happening for a long time? Is it something that just happened as like, like the president said, it's like, a couple's thing, just behind closed doors. It was something playful. Nobody knows. I just want to know your take on it, guys. Do you think, looking at the video, was it something playful, like, couples having a playful moment back doors, or you think she really meant to kind of hit him and hurt him?
I never know say a 72-year-old. I never know say 72-year-old old woman get reflexes like that. You go here, pop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you listen, and if you're married or even in a relationship, like it's not rosy all the time. There'll be tensions, and sometimes somebody might cross the line by raising the hand, and you don't mess with a 72-year-old. I always remember my grandma. You hear, "Kak," I think that is what Macron received. received. Yeah, but behind closed doors, you see, people generally, we all live in a certain lifestyle, where when you step out, you come across like you are the boss, or you are like you handle everything, and behind closed doors, baby, shit is happening. This time it was caught on camera. He just have to live with it, because there's nothing. If he reacts, we know what will happen. So right. I think
no, I like
I don't know,
but I have one interesting question that I feel like I need to ask Master L. The thing is, like, she being the aggressor, right? It's kind of like everybody's kind of like talking about it in terms of like, they being like a power couple and this going on behind closed doors. Is everything okay? But think about it, if the tables were turned, right, and Macron was the one hitting Brigitte, how do you think people would have taken it?
Domestic violence, women molestation, this is that,
masculine, toxic masculinity, or that, whatever you call it.
Sexism, all these things will come up. I think that it's just one of the things, like as said earlier, that happens in every relationship. I mean, who knows, maybe even worse happens behind the scenes. And like you said, anyone who is married, I mean, you can have two people, even friends sometimes fight, and couples as well. So I think it's just probably nobody knows exactly what happened, but it was probably some misunderstanding that even started before they left or something. Because I don't know what could have, if you're going on a state visit, I don't know what could trigger something on a plane, on a presidential jet. So I think that it's probably something they brought home that just kept heating up or something like that. Or maybe he probably just made a comment that the lady didn't like, and she was like, yeah, it's going to go down this way. But I think it's a normal thing. I don't think we should read too much. For me, it's not really a big deal. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, but for me, it's not really a big deal. I think it's just a couple thing.
I do get that part, but the question that I asked was not answered. My question is, if it was Macron hitting Brigitte, how do you think, the public would have viewed it?
Oh, that's what I was saying.
He answered it.
It would be, it would have, people would have looked at it to be some sort of gender violence, women molestation, all those things will come up.
Yeah, but do you think he would have paid a price way more than like Brigitte is doing now?
Yes. I think he would have been sweating on at least from social media. He would have been sweating by now.
I think it depends on every country, but I think with France and in Europe in general, the way they push when a man, like something like that happens to a woman, the moment it's shown on camera, he will lose his position. I
Yeah.
have a strong feeling that would have
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's very possible.
yeah. That would
Yeah,
be the
because it
first
looks
thing
like
they'll push for.
it looks like when it's a man, it's okay. When it's a woman, it's like it's a big deal. Because
Uh-huh.
somebody made that argument once. It was very very interesting. Like in Ghana, it was like we a Bema, right? You be man, we like your woman hits you, you go Koti station where you go talk. Then go talk say kwasi am penny like you did your woman
They
if
don't
you
frustrate.
they can't tell we. Now
Yeah,
if
but
you
if
be
he
the
go
man
also
too,
go behave like a man, then it will go
exactly. If
against
you
him.
the man, you hate the woman.
Yeah.
Where the woman go, coach, what them when they go talk, say you be man, why they hate the woman? So it be like it be
Yeah.
one of those unfairly
You can
balanced
never
situation.
win.
But anyways,
Yeah.
another thing people were saying out there is like they feel like because of the age gap, right? It gives like Brigitte a bit more of like what should I even call it? Like superiority in terms of age, right? So she looks down a bit on Macron. I don't know if that's true, but let's see
Nah,
how
nah.
the relationship now, let's see how the relationship began, though. Now, Emmanuel and Brigitte Marcus' relationship has been under public scrutiny since its inception. They met when he was 15 years old. Now, think about that 15 years old, 1 5. And she was 39 years old. She was actually his teacher, right, in Jesuit school in Amir, I'm not sure how to say that in
Yeah.
French. Despite the 24-year age gap and societal pushback, they maintained their relationship and married in 2007. Now let's put a lens on that.
Mhm.
She was 39. If you round it up, that would be 40 years old.
Yeah.
And he was 15, 1 5.
Mm.
Again, let's reverse it.
Mm.
A 40-year-old man, 15-year-old girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Opinions.
In someone.
Unacceptable.
In someone for you.
Unacceptable indeed. Unacceptable.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so actually it was legal marriage didn't happen until after 18, right? So
Yeah, but even just
it just
dating was
It
illegal.
depends
Even
on the
just
country
dating was
though.
illegal.
It depends on the country though.
No, I think in France it's pretty
Yeah.
much the same. I think it's 18.
15 or 16.
I don't think it's
But
15.
they did not get
We'll
married. I
check.
think
let's just leave it
they
at
courted
18, yeah.
for some time. But that
Mhm.
it's the same like you're asking. If it was the opposite, it wouldn't happen, you know?
Yeah.
Or later they look at the man like Aringa, you know?
Yeah, but do you think that that really also kind of like affects the relationship, right? She feels like she's older, she has to make the
No,
decisions. Macron has to listen to her most of the times because she's older, she's wiser, and don't forget she was his teacher.
Mhm.
yeah, to some extent, but I disagree because you know, turn the table again. There are men that have married to younger women, right? Or ladies, let me put it that way. And sometimes you look at their relationship and it seems like it is the lady that is in charge of everything. You understand? So it has to do with character, right? It has to do with character. And for me, that is where I leave it. Maybe, yes, you can look at it a teacher student, so the dominant is still there. But then if you have to look at it holistically, it has to do with the character. And I think
Okay.
because he decided he can live with that character. You understand? And maybe truly, maybe he also said something. Maybe he has done something. You never know. You understand? And I
Yeah.
always believe with my beliefs, right? Yes, what the wife did was wrong, but people react to
Yeah,
stuff.
I get last
Yeah.
question though. Do you really think, Mr. L, do you think this is the first time this has happened?
Mhm. I
And
don't think so.
based on this video alone, do you think Macron really wears the big boy pants in the relationship?
Well, I think to your first question, I don't think this is the first that has happened. I don't know for sure, but what I do know is in every relationship there are usually troubles,
Mhm.
and also buying into what Steven said earlier that the age gap. It depends on every relationship, but usually in relationships where the woman tends to be older than the man, sometimes in most cases we hear that the woman tries to take control. There are few exceptions where the woman will like kowtow to the man, understanding that he is a man, but in most of such relationships with such gap, it's usually the case that the woman wants to have the final say because naturally she thinks that she's older and she's more experienced and all that. So I wouldn't say this is an exclusive one. I think I would guess that this is something that has been happening. And here, talking about who is wearing the big boy pants, I think that Macron had no choice. He had to behave maturely in this sense because, barring all that, he's still the president, and in every situation, he has to try to keep the decorum. I mean, if you look at the picture really well, when they were still on the plane and the cameras looking through the door, you could see
He
that
kind of waved. Yeah.
after that shove, just after that shove, he had a very he got angry.
Yes.
Yeah, he
He
got
got
rattled.
angry for his exactly for a snap second,
Yeah.
but then I think his senses
Got
came
his
back that
composure.
no, you are exactly you are the president, and then he composes himself again. And when they were coming down the stairs, he tried to hold her hand just to quell the whole thing, but the woman was like pushing away. So I think that he handled it really really well, in my opinion. But deep inside, I'm sure Brother Man was like he was going through it.
Burning, yeah, you burning, yeah.
It's like, let me finish this thing and we get out of here, and then I'll show
Yeah.
you.
Let's get to the
Nice.
hotel. You
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's go to the public reaction and analysis now. What people are saying is that this really shows how, like, people with, what do you call it, private
influence of
relationships,
power,
and also exactly,
position.
yeah, have, like, all this, what you call it, the limelight on them all the time. It's not really to balance those two lives, right? It's pretty tough.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So people have criticized Brigitte, like, really strongly, but there was a body language expert that noted that Macron's surprise reaction, right, it suggested that it was more than something playful, because I think he brushed it off like, it was something playful between husband and wife, but the body language experts say it was something that was more than just playful. Now, critics also pointed out a potential double standard, questioning how the public would react if the roles were reversed. Now, the incident has reignited discussions about gender dynamics and acceptable behavior in relationships. So, just like I asked, right? If it was reversed, I feel like it would have been a lot more severe than people are actually looking at it.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, so let's wrap it up. I think it's like you said, every relationship got what I think most people have, right? The scuffles, the madness, the anger, the disputes. By the end of the day, you have to move on. So does this affect Macron's reputation in any way?
Um, for me, it's about how he feels when he goes out to meet other male friends and stuff. Maybe
Oh
the
yeah,
boys,
they'll make fun of
the,
you. They'll make, hey,
boys would-
bull, bull.
you see the 72, you know.
Yeah, the way your boys go make fun of you.
They'll tell you, we told you,
We told
you
you.
so.
Hey, ujini amekachu abrewa
Yeah,
ujini
yeah,
amekachu abrewa
So,
So
yeah. With I mean, things happen. Like, unless you've not been in a relationship or you just came to planet Earth, right? He would something else will happen in some few months, and it will take over. This thing will die off naturally. Yes, but the thing will be there. We will still use it against him and all that. But there's nothing he can do. He was caught in 4K.
but
So
I think all, like we've already said, right? I think anyone who is in a relationship or married has definitely gone through such a situation.
yes,
So I think for matured people who are married or in responsible positions, they will only talk about it because of the level at which it happened. But in terms of the natural situation, I think many people will understand that it's a normal thing between couples. It doesn't matter if you are in a place of position or you are just some backbencher. It can happen in any relationship. So I think mature people will easily brush this thing off. But I mean, it's come in the limelight because of the people involved.
because
So
of the timing of
yep.
the
right.
door opening and the action.
So I think
But the timing was
who-
perfect too. The timing was perfect.
It was perfect timing, and then you could see,
Yeah.
Macron go to say, "Chai, like I for
They-
day behind the door.
just
What's
like
that?"
2 steps, but it just be 1, 2, but like
Yeah, initially, then come out say now it be like AI rendering and stuff, but later where people confirm
nah.
say it be authentic and stuff. All right, anyways, if you imagine Macron like sitting like opposite like another person waiting for sign something, go to Charlie, son, I go call Bridget. Where Bridget? Bridget! Say them, okay. We signed and left pick. All right, guys. So I mean, we're just trying to put a little bit of fun twist on it. I mean, it's their relationship.
Yeah,
We can't
it
really
happens.
judge them on it. We all have our own relationships going on. You never know mine. I don't know.
Yeah.
My colleagues. But then it's like life goes on. So, what are your thoughts on the incident? Is it something that is blown out of proportion, or is it a private moment that was just accidentally caught on camera? So, share your opinions and whatever you think about the incident down in the comment section. We'll see you
Yeah.
in the next episode. DLS out.